And now to an NBC News exclusive. Our chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell was granted an exclusive interview today with Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad inside the presidential palace in Tehran. They talked about a number of things, including the fate of those American hikers and the plan to build that Islamic center in downtown Manhattan. Andrea with us again tonight from Tehran. Andrea, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Iran's president personally intervened to get Sarah Shored released because of her medical problems. But when it came to the tough questions, tough details of subjects like the two other American hikers still in jail and the international criticism today of Iran's nuclear program, well, then he was defiant. Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad wanted Americans to know that Sarah Shored had been released on compassionate grounds, but said the fate of her fiancé, Shane Bauer, and their friend Josh Vital, still in jail, is up to Iran's judiciary.
I think we should let the judge and the court decide about the case, and I think this is the greatest help to all of them.
Iran's government has been encouraging protests all week in Tehran, trying to exploit anger against the U.S. because of threats to burn the Quran and the opposition to the proposed Islamic Cultural Center near Ground Zero. In our interview, President Ahmadinejad sees the anti-Muslim tension as some kind of Zionist conspiracy in America.
At least I should say there is no conflict between the two cultures. We should find where the problem is. I ask this question: do the people of the United States hate the Muslims? Is that so? That's not true. Muslims do not hate Americans either. This has nothing to do with the people here. That has nothing to do with cultures. We believe that there is a minority in the United States, and they are Zionists. They have no religion. They believe in no religion.
There are Jewish leaders working with Muslim leaders to build the cultural center in New York City. So there's no evidence of any elite, what you call Zionist group against it. In fact,
That's
Fidel Castro,
right.
Castro, your old friend Fidel Castro, criticized you for your comments about
I think
Israel
you should
and
allow me
Holocaust.
to talk, to speak.
Excuse me.
I think you should finish first, and then you should let me explain.
Please.
Okay, will you finish, please? You can continue to talk. Okay, let me answer. What you see in Islamic countries is what the people are against, that ugly behavior. They are not against the people of the United States. They are not against Americans. They are not against Jews. They are not against Christians or Christianity. They are not against any church.
He suggested that so-called Zionists are stopping President Obama from improving relations with Iran.
We think maybe President Obama wants to do something. But there are pressure groups in the United States who do not allow him to do so. Even if he wants to do something, apparently there are certain groups who do not allow him to do it.
You're suggesting that President Obama doesn't have as commander-in-chief and leader of the United States, does not have the decision-making power over what he does?
Do you really think President Obama can do anything he wishes to? He does not say so even. There are different political groups, there are different lobbyist pressure groups, and more important, there are Zionists there. We say if he wants to do something, there are certain groups who do not allow him to do so.
And President Ahmadinejad flatly rejected today's demands by the UN's nuclear watchdog agency to let its inspectors back into those suspected nuclear sites in Iran. He said he would simply not let that happen, but senior U.S. officials tell me that if he continues to defy the UN on this, that could lead to a major confrontation with the U.S. Brian?
Andrea Mitchell as part of her exclusive interview there today in Tehran. Andrea, thanks.